Former island residents Nico David and Zardo Puya launched the Guam Artist Collective as an opportunity to showcase the talent of artists with Guam roots. David, a graphic designer, and Apuya, a toy custom designer, came together in hopes that it would inspire people from Guam that there were creatives out in California and who are doing amazing things and working hard. Apuya admits it can get very competitive.
I learned how it was to be send your portfolios to galleries out here just to get into a couple of shows. And it's kind of takes a lot from you. You got to be hustling all the time, creating new pieces, really get those creative juices going. So that's kind of where I learned to be more active out here in the art scene.
And it was how the Guam Artist Collective Showcase came to be. Apuya said they have a good relationship with a local gallery in San Diego, Thumbprint Art Gallery. And for the month of August, the collective had an exhibit.
They've been able to give us the space, just because it's hard to find a space in general, just to have like a gallery willing to give up a space for 1 month, right? And then like, for us, because it went so well, like they pretty much secured us a round two for next year.
They had the space, now they needed the artwork to fill it. After putting a call out and even a flyer, along with David and Apuya, 8 other creatives from the area and even Los Angeles with Guam roots jumped at the opportunity.
I think we have a good group, and it's a collection of people too that they weren't raised in Guam, but they have Chamorro ties, and I think that also helps because there is kind of I don't want to say a separation between people who are from Guam and people who are Chamorro that live out here, but I kind of want to break that down and just kind of put us together. There's not really a separation there, more so just kind of unite and show what people from Guam could do.
We also made it a point to not only like call for artists that are actually like 2D artists, sculptors, more to what you expect as artists. We expanded to like anyone who's in the creative field, so like musicians, singers, performers, songwriters, and like writers, anything that kind of in the umbrella of creatives. We expanded in that way just because if we're calling ourselves a collective, we should kind of like we want to be diverse, in diverse creative fields. So like it also allows us to branch out. And then like I think in the long run, it would allow people, because we have people in different creatives, they branch out to people in their creatives, and we're just kind of like slowly building a foundation of how we're eventually going to build the network.
That network includes graphic artist Shira Espino, who was born and raised on island.
I do a little bit of everything, but more recently I've been focused in on a lot of wood illustrations. I do a lot of clothing design, portraits, and murals.
Espino moved out to San Diego at the age of 18 to pursue a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. She has worked as an interior designer and a stage set designer, but she always went back to painting.
Especially using themes of nature to stay connected to home. My parents are also in Jigo. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Being a part of the showcase and seeing the support was inspiring for her to see.
We also got to share a lot about our culture, including my friends who didn't even know where Guam was on the map. And I think that's what it's really all about is being able to bring the essence and emotion of Guam through art.
And while we mostly know Jason J for his music, not many know of his other passion, drawing. He said he met David through his shows in San Diego.
I always knew what he did, and I always really loved his work. But I was only doing art just kind of for the fun of it. And so he started buying my art pieces, and he asked me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm throwing an art show." I was like, "Please, like, I want to be. I would love to be part of that." It was my first gallery experience with my art pieces, so it was nice. Yeah.
His drawings bold in color and design. Where does he get his inspiration?
I've been doing music for a while now, and the more I've been writing and making music, like I feel like I've also gotten a little bit critical of myself, and I'm still like able to function, but it's like there is a level of like sometimes when I have an idea, let's say I'm writing two three lyrics for a sentences for a verse, and even at 3 sentences I'll be like, nah, this is not it, so I'll trash it. But with art, with drawing, it's like for me it's just like I'm just trying to have fun with it and just see what I can put together or make something cool that I enjoy.
His drawings are done digitally and are done on his iPad and then printed on canvas, and many of those pieces were on display at the exhibit. And being among a group of other creatives was such a great feeling.
Just a whole new batch of Guam people, and super creative, and yeah, different styles of art as well. Surprising because there's a lot of high quality work.
Another artist taking part in the exhibit was motion designer Kenneth Jr.
And for the Home Away from Home exhibit, I did a piece called To 671 and Beyond. It's a mixture of different elements, primarily augmented reality, but it's, I guess, the main thing was augmented reality canvas. And I used a couple other mediums. I used AI on this one to kind of help me generate concepts, ideas, and then animation and everything went together, and it lives on the canvas with the IG filter combined.
Paulina was amazed by the outpour of support for the exhibit.
I loved it. Like, it was definitely, since we came out here this year, me and my family have been very, mahalang for home. So when we came in, it was. I was just telling my wife and my sons that it felt like we were at home again. It felt like we were, either at the Guam Museum looking at an exhibit or down in, Chuman Bay. But yeah, it was nice. The turnout was very great. Meeting the different artists. They had local vendors too. So they had food. They had people there. They had awesome music from Jason J and Hale. So it was cool. It felt like I was we were back at home. So I definitely can't wait for the next one to happen.
My name's Jenna. Makaka Balitres is my family name. And actually my grandfather is from Guam. My dad was born here in Coronado and San Diego. And I was also born and raised here. And yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up dancing. I got to have the food and the family. And I got to actually make my trip back to Guam in 2018. I got to take my dad's ashes back there. He actually never got to go. So I did my heritage trip. And yeah, it was really nice to be there and be back. And I'm excited to go back and visit again.
Uggan's contribution to the TGAC showcase was a series of images she had been working on that featured cats.
It started out like as an emotional chart for my daughter. So that way she could like navigate through her feelings, and it kind of just became like the small capsule of images. I did some watercolors, and yeah, I'm just excited to be part of like a Chamorro group, because I feel like here in San Diego we have a big Latino community and a big Filipina community, and it's been kind of hard to find where I fit in since I'm Chamorro, and it's really nice to be able to be with other Chamorros and be part of this art collective. So I'm excited to keep moving forward.
She's always creating stuff. Professionally, she's a tattoo artist, but amidst she does different types of art. Her brother informed her of the call out for the showcase, and she immediately responded.
It was really heartwarming. It felt like going to a family barbecue, honestly. And it was just so nice because everyone was so welcoming, and you could just feel like the island spirit was there. And that's not something I get to experience a lot. So it was it felt like home.
Follow the Guam Artist Collective on Instagram and find more images and videos on Thumbprint Art Gallery on Instagram as well. Jonagan Charfris, KM News.